it was the end of World War II, so it was the perfect, opportunity. The French had actually been expelled by the Japanese, and they were trying to return. Can you imagine that after you colonized the place, you had, an iron grip on it for 100 years. The Japanese finally dislodge you, and then when the Japanese are defeated, your immediate response is, "I guess we should go back to where we were before." That should work out.
Sounds about the type of logic I would expect.
It's what you would expect from people who had done the colonizing in the first place. I do notice the French don't seem to have a relationship with their former colonies in the way that Britain does. I don't know if that's because the British are we're better at transferring to neo-colonialism, or if they genuinely have good relationships, like voluntarily good relationships with these places. But there's not, you see everything translated in French for sure here, for French tourists, but I don't see much in the way of them being part of an international organization. You tend not to see that from my limited experience traveling. Once the French were gone, they're just gone. But they do have. I know the British have some horror stories of the places that they've been. Where they're the villains. But man, the French, they did a number on Indochina for sure. The crisis of the nations of capitalist system, with their sharp and comprehensive contradictions, led to the establishment of fascist nations and countries, typically fascist Germany, Italy, and Japan, which colluded together to prepare the war, redivide the world market, and attack the Soviet Union. Therefore, the goal of our people's struggle in this period transformed to demand freedom, people's livelihood, democracy, and peace. In July 1936, the Conference of the People's Party Central Committee was held to advocate the establishment of the People's Unified Anti-Imperialist Front of Indochina to gather all patriotic, democratic, and progressive forces to combine forms of public, secret, legal, and semi-legal, I like that, struggles for the rights of freedom, people's livelihood, and democracy, parliamentary struggles, and struggles in the field of journalism. The 1936 to 39 democratic movement spread throughout the country, forcing the French colonialists to make concessions to some demands on the people's livelihood and democracy, whereby the masses were enlightened and became a powerful political force of the revolution. This was the second party's exercise to prepare all forces for the August Revolution in 1945. All right. That's how they got prepared. I like the semi-legal part. There's some semi-legal for this. Maybe they'll make this more meaningful. Dien bien phu.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, broken chains. Meaningful. Dien bien phu.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, broken chains. I feel like that first hallway was very utilitarian. It wasn't inviting, and now you come around the corner into this area, and it's it's a really nice museum. This is the fancy part of the museum. Prison system built by the French colonialists in Vietnam. In the process of invasion and establishment of a ruling regime in Vietnam, along with the organization of courts and police, the French colonialists quickly built up a system of prisons at central and local levels to imprison and persecute patriotic and revolutionary soldiers in order to terrorize and prevent their people's struggle movement. The party and government mobilized the people of the country to concentrate their strength on the Dien Bien Phu campaign. With the slogan, "All for the front line, all for victory," nearly 55,000 soldiers of 5 companies, along with units of engineer, transportation, information, and army medical units, participated in the campaign. 260,000 firemen, more than 600 cars, 20,000 bicycles, 11,800 boats were mobilized. The slogan, all for the front line, all for victory, nearly 55,000 soldiers of 5 companies, along with units of engineer, transportation, information, and army medical units, participated in the campaign. 260,000 firemen, more than 600 cars, 20,000 bicycles, 11,800 boats were mobilized. 27,400 tons of rice were collected for the army, ensuring logistics for the campaign. I really want museums to direct me through the museum. Please tell me where to go. I don't know what to look at. I'm just a tourist. Upstairs first. Look at this. Now enjoy this. Sit down, have a coffee.
It's all arranged for you. There you go. Exactly
Wow.
like that.
And I wished for it, and I just got this prison system with extremely harsh detention conditions and brutal forms of torture did not subdue the will of the revolutionary soldiers and Vietnamese patriots. With the slogan, "Turn the prison into a revolutionary school," communist soldiers with strong will, endurance, and solidarity continued to work, summarize, and experience of leading the movement, organize theory classes, improve Marxist-Leninism, write theoretical and political documents for training in the colonial prisons, which was called Hell on Earth. On May 7th, I don't know why I said 5th, 1954, General de Castries was captured alive in this bunker, marking the defeat of the French colonialists in Dien Bien Phu and all of Vietnam. That's why it's an important. It wasn't the turning point; it was the final victory.
Oh.
By the puppet police to torture political prisoners in Con Dao prison. Oh, that is the one. Yeah,
God.
Con Dao prison. That's Baria, Vung Tau. That's where we were. That's where they. That's the prison that the Americans took over during the war and were torturing Vietnamese there as well. This festival is recognized as the national intangible cultural heritage of Vietnam. The model cannon is made by craftsmen from Dong Qui Ward. It's decorated with dragon, unicorn, turtle, and phoenix designs. It's very elaborate, so I wanted to tell you what it is. Get back to the music. Hi. Turn right and start visiting from room 1. Right.
Oh my God!
Do it.
You manifested that.
I did. I wish to that they did it. Hi. Come on. Oh, she on the phone. Here we go. Oh. Well, we're starting with room 4. I want clear instructions so I can then not follow any of them. Here's a guy writing. Tran Phu wrote political thesis. Okay. Oh, I had a song out of that. I hope you enjoyed it.
I like that. It's like
Why?
every day I'm hustling.
Every day, that's what it was. If ever we have a game show where my random musical outbursts must be guessed, I'm going to do very well. Wow, there's your homemade hammer and sickle right there. Eric, I'm going to have to go back and extract your involuntary coffee. I love that. Your explanation was the coffee was really good. I mean,
It was. I didn't even mean to do it. I love the Police Academy movies because they're stupid and
yeah.
perfectly stupid at that. So, I mean, and also it's the first time I ever heard of a blowjob was on there, actually.
It's an important memory to have.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, well, that doesn't look too bad, except for this guy is standing up at a podium, and I was like, oh, what is going on?
Show me some revolutionary stuff.
Well, I'm sure they were using those for,
Used by the Ho
riling up.
Chi Red Guard. And a lot of it, like, they'll just tell you where it's from, which is used by the Ho
Riling up.
Chi Red Guard. And a lot of it, like, they'll just tell you where it's from, which is good to know. It's like valid information, but all I'm going to do is massacre the name so that even a Vietnamese person couldn't tell where it was from.
Or jeepers.
Well, I'm glad you got to stay to see some of the Museum of the Revolution. I knew that was probably something you wanted to see. Of course, I want it to be like more. I want it to be vulgar, to be honest.
They're being respectful and all calm about it, but I'm like, dude, just go for it because screw those bastards.
I mean, yeah. That's not their way, and I appreciate that, but that's what I want is to be nasty about it. But if you're falling asleep, you can certainly tune out, and yeah, we'll do this again. We'll do another thing soon. Maybe the next thing will probably be the little movie review that we've been talking about doing forever. I'll be posting a lot of stuff, and then in a couple of weeks I'll post something for us to talk about the next place we're going. To do a practical traveler episode.
Okay, and while you're in this, I'm going to put this. I'm just going to mute myself, but stay in here until you're done doing the stuff. So while the music's on, I'm going to be like.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'll go ahead and put the music on. But man, just the French, they did a number on Indochina for sure. Saw blade used by guerrilla team to cut down telephone poles of French army on the way from Hanoi to Son Tai. Son Tai is a place, but it's named after one of the dynasties. I don't know if you remember the Son Tai dynasty that we ran across.
I do not.
Mayet, bamboo spikes. Bamboo spikes? I'm sure that's metal. I don't know why it says bamboo. Used by guerrilla and people of Interregion 5 to resist mopping up operations of French soldiers.
That looks friendly.
I think he's pointing us in the right direction. Check it out. After all that, it's gonna be like, you gotta shut that camera off. Check it out. After all that, it's gonna be like, you gotta shut that camera off, boy.
It'd be hilarious if they came up to you and said it just like that.
I'm going to show this picture. I'm not, again, I always like to mention, I'm not a fan of showing photos on the stream because those could just be, but I'm going to show it right now because this picture looks so much, the prison looks so much like the one that they, that the American senator found the army using in, on the island off, I don't know if you remember this, off the coast of southern Vietnam. That we read about and almost went to, but we didn't actually go there. There's no episode for it. But yeah, it looks a lot like that. If you recall that. And I think most of this is Museum of the Revolution, so I think most of it is going to be about the. Well, I think we've done the Museum of the Revolution part. We can go over to the other history part of the museum. I was going to say most of it is going to be about, but this is it. This is the end of the museum.
I just thought about that Cafe Vienna, like like the international coffees.
Oops.
Oh,
I think that's where they put the bodies after they execute them. The video. Okay, great. Oh, one ticket, access to both. There you go.
Hey,
Yes.
hey,
Okay.
hey.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over and pay. You gotta pay.
No.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad. I just have to dig out the money.
I know. It's just extra.
It shows you how convenient it is to do that kind of paying. I think I'm gonna make her split a big bill because I don't have anything else. Come on, come on, upstairs. All right. Well, this is really 2 sites, so I'm just gonna check our time now. I mean, this is 2 sites, but it's really one. I'm gonna check our schedule when I planned to be finished.
Planted.
Be like, get out of our place. I like that. That is a helpful instruction. Okay, 1930 to 31, revolutionary movement. We did this one already. Let's move on. The democratic movement, 1936 to 39. Cooking pot. Oh, okay, we do have some descriptions. It says cylinder, but that's clearly a rolling pin. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. It was a cylinder used to print the Libera flag newspaper and documents of the Indochina Communist Party in 1940.
Oh, wow. Or a rolling pin.
But also, they rolled out their dough with it. I mean, it had multiple uses. Cooking pot. Pottery vase.
Their biscuits had the Communist Manifesto on it.
Used by comrades while working for the trade union movement in Haiphong. Those. Swana Bowl, active club of party committee of Taisun Commune, used to gather propaganda to the public. I guess those are. It says Swana Bowl, but I'm thinking it was what? Sound hole. Swana rod. Close your sound hole, man. I think that's just the tip of the announcement thing.
I mean, the sound hole. I think that is what they call the hole on a guitar too.
Oh, really? Given to Vietnam Central Labor Party by the Central Communist Party of the Soviet Union in 1950. This is a special armored car which was used to drive President Ho Chi Minh and comrades working in the Politburo of the Party Central Committee to go on business from 1954 to 1972. The car was given to the museum for display and preservation in.
Yeah, I was just let me look. Close your sound hole.
I've realized
sound hole guitar.
The second time I've used that joke in a couple of days, but it came up again. So I'm not.
Yeah, it's on all of those things. The sound hole. A sound hole is an opening in the body of a stringed musical instrument,
Yeah.
usually the upper soundboard. But I mean, the sound hole could be from, wherever sound is coming out of the hole, obviously.
Guillotine, used by French colonialists to execute Vietnamese revolutionary soldiers and patriots before 1945.
Viennese would be funny.
Vietnamese. Sorry.
But
oh my god! And it is actually facing the direction. It's just with the way I came. Google had it up the street a bit. That's the only reason. It's actually on the correct street when I first missed it. But it had it up the street a bit, so I hit the street too far. With the way I came, Google had it up the street a bit. That's the only reason. It's actually on the correct street when I first missed it. But it had it up the street a bit, so I hit the street too far north, and it told me to turn left.
Coyote things that could happen.
Really, all that I know how to. I would only be able to fight an Acme war if I had to be recruited.
Acme war. Oh god, I got Looney Tunes on opposing sides and stuff. It's like Civil War with them. Oh god, I got Looney Tunes on opposing sides and stuff. It's like Civil War with them. I was thinking they'd hold that thing and then smack the hell out of somebody with it.
I mean, that's also a possibility for sure. For sure. Oh, it's like a banjo. Neat. Music instrument used in propaganda performance in Long Cho Sa campaign in 1951. Yeah. Sometimes I just like trail off when I'm reading. It's because I run into names, and like I said before, I know I'm going to massacre the name. But also, I think, well, like Erica's not going to be. I know that guy.
Jag är Tet och de här kommer då veta personer som tar över. Jag är med sig för mig på dörren. Men jag kan ändå vara lite lobby. Ja, 4. Lämna en tid. Lämna rollen för att från. Lämna rollen. Nej, kom det. Ja, jag är Tet och de här kommer då veta personer som tar över. Jag är med sig för mig på dörren. Men jag kan ändå vara lite lobby. Ja, 4. Lämna en tid. Lämna rollen för att från. Lämna rollen. Nej, kom det. Ja, jag